games in the 21st century are one of the biggest hobbies or pastimes for people all around the world, providing thousands of jobs, billions of dollars worldwide, and of course, millions of hours of enjoyment for gamers. But there had to be a gradual rise through the years in popularity and support before becoming one of the biggest media industries in the world. Conventional video games began in the late 1950s and were created as a pastime by many university students around the USA. The games were very primitive in nature, as they were loosely based on archery or text-based games. In 1971, commercially available games began to appear in the form of arcade games, but as it was a totally new phenomenon to the public, it did not sell very well. However, in 1972, the game company Atari was founded and released Pong, a versus game loosely based on table tennis. This release was a massive boost of publicity and popularity for games. After Pong's success, countless imitations were created, thus beginning the gradual rise into bigger and better technologies for the industry. How long have you been a gamer and how important is it in your life?
Since I was a kid, so like, I don't know, 10 years at least.
I've been a gamer for all my life, I guess, really. Just started like at 5 maybe. I think it's really important. I mean, I play all the time, play games every day. I think it's entertaining.
Probably about four or 5 years I've been sitting playing games for.
Just since I sort of first got Game Boy or whatever, I've kind of always been quite into games, and especially recently since games have been getting so good. That's kind of a funny thing to say, but yeah, like since games have been really improving and sort of taking on big steps, I think it's pretty important.
After great innovations and success in the gaming sector through arcade games, advances were made to bring the games home in the form of consoles, instead of being able to only plug in a singular game into a television set. Home gaming didn't really boom until Sony released its infamous PlayStation console in 1995. This was the catalyst for games consoles becoming the premier choice of home entertainment the world over. Is this your first midnight launch, or how does it feel to be here?
Oh, this is my second one. I came to a Warcraft one a couple of months ago, and it was pretty good, but I didn't play any Warcraft because I'm not into Warcraft, but it was really fun, yeah.
Yeah, this is my first. It's actually pretty stress-free. I always thought it would be one of those really big queues that people fighting over each other in queues, but it's a lot more chilled out. Yeah, a lot easier to just sort of walk in and pick up a game. It's pretty exciting actually, because it's the technology.
In recent years, the gaming industry, especially in the UK, has grown exponentially, providing some of the greatest games in the world and generating millions of pounds into the economy. From one A-listed game released this year, in the first 24 hours of release, it made over $1 billion worldwide. This is well over 5 times greater than what would be expected for a box office hit at the cinema. So did you pre-order Call of Duty?
No, I didn't pre-order it because I knew that I'd get it on the midnight launch when it came out. Just, not really quite pre-ordering it. I mean, you can get like extra stuff, but not really.
How many hours do you think you'll play it for?
I don't know, probably the whole night, the whole day, and then probably the rest of the year.
I'd say they get more excited about it, like sort of 15-year-olds. Definitely more important to them, but I'd say that it's just not a big deal, and it's just sort of part of people's lives when they get a bit older, and I think it's still pretty important for adults, but just don't get so excited and crazy about it like the kids do.
Many modern day franchises are now being adapted into films, or stories of the characters are being expanded into novels, or based on events that led up to the story in the game. I spoke to a manager of a high street entertainment retailer to see the impact the gaming industry has on sales compared to different media in store, and he had this to say.
I'm Stephen Watt, I'm the game supervisor for this store.
What is the genre or console that sells the most in HMV?
PlayStation 3 and Xbox tend to sell equally. Xbox is probably slightly more popular because it's had more of a lifespan than PS3 does. I've worked in game stores for the last 9 years across game and HMV, and you've seen a gradual uplift in stuff as it's come out. Xbox 360 blew up when it came out, PS3 was exactly the same. You've had the same with Wii as well. Wii's not quite as popular with the hardcore gamers, but it still sells really well.
When was the first midnight opening for a game release within the HMV?
In this store, the first one we done was Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, so that was 2009. After that we do them for everything that comes out that's big. FIFA, Call of Duty, Medal of Honor, World of Warcraft, Halo, Gears of War, that kind of thing.
In your opinion, how significant are the midnight openings for games in HMV?
They're pretty big. They're pretty big. You guys were along for the Black Ops 2 launch. That was a wee bit quiet compared to usual years. You usually queued right out the door, but it lets people know that us as a company are willing to supply stuff to them when they want it rather than having to wait until the next morning for them.
Games are ever changing and adapt to society's demands and emotions. For instance, with the Olympics in 2012, many games were created to capture the patriotic fever that many felt in the nation. At another end of the gaming scale, modern war games were based on the conflict our soldiers are fighting in Afghanistan. These games have been engineered around what we see in the news and to capture a realistic view for fans of a warfare simulator. I understand you have the gamer base in HMV. Can you tell me why it was set up?
It was set up to let people come in and not necessarily try before you buy, but there are a lot of people that will come in and want to play new releases before they buy them just to see if they're any good or not. Also brings people in where tonight we've got a League of Legends community that come in every Thursday night, and it's just basically a group of guys that get together rather than sitting in their house. They can come in and they can have a bit of banter while they're playing the game as well. Instead of doing it over a headset, it's usually a wee bit more fun if you're doing it face to face.
Do you think that people who take up the hobby of gaming always stick to it?
Yeah. I wasn't interested in games probably about 10-15 years ago, and ever since I started working with them, pretty much every payday I'm buying at least one game.
Is there a specific age group that is the biggest buyers for games?
Definitely 18 to 24. You get your younger bracket and you sometimes get older guys. You'd be surprised at the amount of old age pensioners that come in and want to buy Call of Duty and all the rest of it and play their war games and that, but yeah, usually 18 to 24.
What do you think the next big event will be for the gaming industry?
It'll either be the new PlayStation or the new Xbox, whatever one comes first, that'll be the next big thing.
Looking back on the journey the gaming industry has been through, we can see that it will only get bigger and better as sales rival even the most popular film releases and is now dominating the entertainment market all around the world. I believe that games will be expanded into more and more areas in society and making the virtual world just as exciting as the real world.